Hi guys, Rusty here, and so yeah, I've got started on doing my cam bearings and messing around with some of the other stuff on the bike. I have literally got the exhaust off, I've got the cams out, I've got the cam bearings replaced, I've got the oil pump took apart, inspected, put back together with some assembly lube. I may be taking that back apart to pack with Vaseline. I know old school way was pack them with Vaseline and to help them prime themselves and starting up from dry. It seems like I read that in the manual. I'm gonna have to re-verify that and make sure. But so tomorrow I have a tool that tests the run out on the crank. It's a plate that bolts to the block, and it has a hole where the crank goes through it with a dial indicator, and you jack the back of the bike up, put it in fifth gear, and then you sit there and rotate the rear tire, and as the crank turns it tells you if it's wobbling. If it's wobbling too much, you've got bad problems and you need to stop and punt. Well, basically you need another engine, and that would suck, but it's not that uncommon to happen in these bikes. Harley kept up in the standard of what run out was acceptable, and it's funny because people throw gear drives in these things and not know the run out, and it's like holy crap, because you have to have like a 1 or 2 thousandths run out to run a set of gear drives. And then not only that, but then you have to set your backlash too, because your gears have to mesh right as well. And most people don't even know that you have to buy alternate gears to get your backlash set up. Most people just take what's in the kit and bolt it in and think it's done, but it's not really always the case. I mean, it's a pretty close, they know it's close, but in some bikes it's still just enough difference that you might have to order a little smaller gear or a little larger gear to make it mesh right. I really just don't want to go through all that hassle, so I stayed chain drive. And trusty, it's reliable, and I'll be honest with you, I had very little wear on my cam tensioners, and at 40,000 miles. Now mine's the hydraulic set. Now if you have the old school spring-loaded ones, the reason they had such a problem is they had linked chains instead of having like a double roller. Basically it means like little plates that are mounted together in a stack, and then that stack is very coarse, and it cuts into those tensioners really deep. And but what with the double rollers, you have basically two edges, and they'll wear in a little bit, but then the rollers hit and it stops wearing any farther at that point. I mean, very little at all. You can buy replacements ones as Fueling that carries them. They're like $25, and they're made out of a better material. So it's cheap insurance. If you're in here, go ahead and spend the $25 and put new ones in there. Yeah, that's a no-brainer in my opinion. So yeah, this is kind of day one. This is what we're looking like, and tomorrow's going to be checking crank run out, and then we're going to go from there and start. I got to check clearances on the cams, basically stick them in and spin them around in the bearings to make sure they're not going to hit any of the block, because if you get too much cam, too big a lift, they hit, and then you have to go in there and massage the block, or basically grind out an area where those lobes interfere. My cams are not that radical, so I really don't expect that to be a thing. But the reason I didn't really make a video to show a step-by-step and a how-to guide, dude, there is thousands of those videos out there, and there's way better people to explain it. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see how this bike wakes up and what difference it makes, because that's going to be cams, and it's going to be a 2-in-1 exhaust, so that's going to pick up power right there. And then And I've got the Arlen Ness big sucker intake, so that's supposed to flow a lot more than the high flow Harley. So this thing's gonna breathe a lot better, and it'll way out breathe better than the Stage 2 Harley kits and stuff like that, because Harleys, they're still trying to hide under that guise of emissions and all that, so they're very restrictive in a lot of their stuff, and still run really lean. And yeah, I don't have those kind of restrictions here. Georgia don't have emissions laws for motorcycles. We don't have to get them inspected or anything, so we're gonna have a little fun. Looking like there's gonna be another set of tires in my near future. Sucks, I just put these on last year. Yeah, I'm not exactly real pleased with the wear on these. Not gonna go back with a set of these ever again. I'm either gonna go with the Dunlop American Elites, not the factory Dunlops, but the American Elites, or I'm gonna go to the Commanders, whether it's Commander 2s or Commander 3s. I know the Commander 3s came out not too long ago. Anyways, guys, if you're new here, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I make these videos, and we'll talk to you later.